crypto allows anybody to trade tokens, and we didn't have that before. It was like Forex, as I mentioned, but it was like much smaller actually. And maybe it's good as well, because probably a lot of people have made a lot of money, changed their lives. But crypto is not only about trading crypto tokens. It's about like changing the world.
Yeah, you've said this before, that crypto isn't about becoming billionaires, it's about improving the world with technology. And
if we don't forget about that, if we like try to really change the world, I think market capitalization of crypto will only benefit from it.
So it's all about the DAO. If we can get the DAO right and the governance, then these chains can take on lives of their own and create massive solutions and not just be another crypto asset. It can be, like you said, another country or another way of life, another mindset, another part of culture.
Sure, because it's like about everything. It's about society. It's not about like some part of society. It's about like fabric of the society. No, it's about the state. It's about like the way we interact with each other. It's about all our social issues. It's much bigger than crypto itself. It's about like the way we live.
The world is changing. Inspiration is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs. Sharing our vulnerability. Overcoming our fears. Transforming ourselves so we can transform the world. How far can we go?
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is... This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Sasha Ivanov, the blockchain developer, scientist, and technology entrepreneur. You are the founder of Waves, an open source platform for decentralized applications that allows users to create and launch custom crypto assets. Since starting in 2016, your goal has been to improve on the issues of blockchain speed and usability. Today, Waves has developed into a leading solution thanks to a community of over 2 million active users. You personally have been a leading figure in the crypto space for many years, having founded the cryptocurrency exchange CoinMat.com back in 2013. Your goal is to democratize the use of blockchain throughout the world, making it accessible to people from all walks of life. Sasha, welcome to London Real.
Hi, Brian. Thanks for having me. It's a great honor.
Hey,
Thank you for the introduction.
Hey, it's great to have you here. I'd love to just jump into it, Sasha, and talk about the last, 4 months, which have probably been some of the craziest, maybe even you've seen since 2016. Tremendous price action of Waves and everything else. Obviously, algo stablecoins getting depegged in different places, lots of volatility, some Cefi institutions kind of failing like Celsius and the like. What do you make of the last 4 months? How do you try to put that in perspective when you talk to people?
Yeah, actually, it was pretty crazy because as you mentioned, I've been in crypto like for years, probably actively since 2014. So it's like maybe 8 years of like active development in crypto, and I've seen a lot of those like cycles. But this cycle is very different. So maybe something has really changed now because we have like new players here. We have like big funds, non-crypto funds, who are interested in crypto space, and they have a lot of experience with trading, and actually they found a very nice market for like their operations, I think. So we have like new players now that we didn't have before, and it has changed things like considerably, because we can see that some like setups, some like, for example, algorithmic coin setups that were like good a year ago, like Luna. Nobody questioned whether Luna was like viable product. They turn out to be very weak and very easy to manipulate. Because just nobody tried to do that before. So I think it's a new page for crypto because you have new actors, you have probably more money, and we have to think where we go from here, because I think crypto is not only about trading, about market trends. Crypto is more about changing the society. People tend to forget about it, and I think without those applications, I mean DAOs, all types of governance applications, we won't be successful financially either, because we will have too much manipulation. You can see those issues with Cefi platforms. When you have basically non-crypto products working with crypto, it just can't be good. It always will be bad. You have to create decentralized exchanges. You have to create decentralized products that work with crypto. If you try to combine centralized approach with decentralized approach, it's never going to be good. And this is a proof, basically. We can see that all those Cefi products failed miserably. And we really need to focus on creating decentralized infrastructure for crypto. It might sound like a little bit strange, but it's true, because most infrastructure that we have is centralized. Exchanges, centralized, DeFi, custody, it's all centralized. And it's probably, it was good maybe a couple of years ago for mass adoption, but now we can see that we have too many issues with this. So we have to focus on decentralized exchanges. We have to focus on DeFi versus Cefi. And only in this case, even if we focus on purely financial monetary applications of crypto, not mentioning some kind of DAO products, only in this case, when we are able to create decentralized infrastructure for crypto, we're going to be successful. We won't have those crazy ups and downs that actually is very bad for crypto. They're bad for mass adoption, because so many people got burned with Luna. And I'm not sure that they're going to be coming back to crypto, because the damage was immense, and people will never trust crypto again, a lot of them. So it's not good for crypto. So if we really want some kind of mass adoption, we have to focus on native crypto products, that is DAOs, DEXs, and so on and so forth. And I think it became very clear during the last 4 months.
And when you're talking about these Cefi institutions, which ones are you specifically talking about?
Yeah, I don't want to mention the names, but I can mention them because everybody know them currently. Celsius, some other companies. Their setup was very attractive for entrepreneurs, because you saw such an opportunity with DeFi, and DeFi is very sophisticated for many people, and they just wanted to simplify DeFi, just to provide some kind of custodial platform where people could just deposit their crypto and earn 10% APY, much more than they earn in their bank. And it was very lucrative opportunity for many entrepreneurs. And I think we couldn't really have avoided this, because it was such an obvious opportunity for many people. It was quite obvious as well that it actually could lead to a lot of problems, and that is what happened, because people actually thought that crypto was kind of immune to general market trends, and when broader financial markets, larger financial markets, started to become bearish, the impact on crypto was very, very big and pronounced, and people just didn't expect that. For example, as far as I understand, 3 Arrow Capital, with their theory of super cycles, they basically believed that crypto would be going up forever, So, but it can't happen, because you have new actors, they bring new money, they bring new tools, to like impact the market. I won't like say the word manipulate, but there is some like impact that we've seen with waves as well, actually.
Yeah.
And
Let's
crypto is not immune to those like things that have been working in traditional financial markets for centuries, you know. So just people started to use those tools, and now we have what we have.
Yeah. You talk about these new players, and it's kind of code word for probably risk arb desks and hedge funds that know how to make a lot of money when they squeeze people. Now, I used to work on Wall Street for many years, and I have friends of mine that used to do that kind of work. And with Terra Luna, there was a lot of rumors that there were risk arb desks that were kind of squeezing that to make money off the failure in the DPEG. And, you know, while we're at it, you know, you tweeted out a little while ago, say, get your popcorn ready. Alameda Research manipulates Waves price. Can you talk about some of this stuff that's happening behind the scenes where, like you said, a couple years ago, we didn't have to worry about these risk arb and funds out there trying to crush something for monetary gain, but now we do. So what's happening? Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.
Yeah, I think we just have new actors. Maybe like traditional Wall Street firms. I won't give you any names because I don't want to like mention any conspiracy theories. This is not what I want to do, and I really wouldn't like to go like, you know, too deep into it, because I think it's inevitable. You know, this is what people have been doing like for decades, maybe even for centuries, you know. So now they're doing this with crypto, and they will be doing this because this is their job, basically. This is what they do. So for us, it's important not to, you know, somehow like get rid of those people. It's impossible. For us, it's like very important to become independent and like immune to those like external impacts. I think it's doable, you know. So with proper governance, with like, it's not only, I mean, not waves, I mean like crypto in general, you know. So when you have centralized platforms that offer you crazy leverage, you know, you understand that it can lead to so many problems, because when you have like like 100x leverage trading crypto, that can't be good, you know. So I think we should somehow limit this. And even if we want to trade, for example, crypto derivatives, we should actually create decentralized platforms. We have a lot of like derivatives platforms now centralized, but they also can be like created on a decentralized footing, and it's starting now. So we have some platforms as well. We are working on one in Waves as well. So if we really want to trade with leverage, if we really want to trade futures, at least it should be done in a more transparent way. And the path to transparency is pretty obvious here. This is like blockchain technology. The idea is very simple. You can't, you know, like deal with those like decentralized objects, tokens and such, on a centralized footing, you know. So there is some like contradiction in terms here. So the whole crypto infrastructure should be eventually decentralized, and only in this case, crypto as like as a phenomenon can be successful, you know, because otherwise you would have just forex on steroids. Because when I was like maybe 20 years ago, there was forex, if you remember, and it's still there actually. But what we have now with crypto, basically we have Forex on steroids. That's it. People trade a lot of tokens. It's easier. I think the outreach is actually better because you can reach out to more people. Forex is kind of like you have to actually go through some KYC and such. In crypto, actually, you can trade on Uniswap without any KYC, and crypto reaches out to more people, and basically it becomes some kind of like Forex, on the next level, So, but it's not good. Crypto was not about that, So when I started crypto, I was thinking more about DAOs and stuff like that, about consensus protocols. Monetary aspect is very important, but even if you focus on it, you need to understand that you have to combine it with the essence of crypto, that is decentralization, DAOs and such, to make even the monetary aspect successful. Otherwise, you will always have what we are having now: manipulation, crazy leverage, liquidations and such. And nobody, somebody's profiting from it, but we as a community do not profit from it. Which technology doesn't move forward. We don't make any progress with our consensus algorithms. We don't develop the technology. We are focusing on market trends, and this is bad also for market capitalization of our crypto.
Yeah,
so only combination.
I think with Luna, it lost 80 billion of market cap. And somebody estimated that the most a risk arb player made was maybe 800 million. So, maybe 1% of that was made by someone and the rest was just lost by the market. And it'll be years probably for us to clean it all up, right? And restore confidence. So I understand what you're saying. But at the same time, I guess this is an evolution of these markets, like you said. I mean, this is them getting bigger, more players coming in. It is a free market at the end of the day, right? So people are allowed to buy and sell without regulation, 24/7. And I guess this is a learning process on the market. Look, I know you said you didn't want to name names, but I'm just going to ask you one more time because you did call out Alameda Research, and Sam Bankman-Fried wrote back and said, calling your tweet an obvious bullshit conspiracy theory when you said, get your popcorn ready, Alameda Research manipulates Waves price. They've also been suggested that, they bought BlockFi on the cheap after, all of that stuff came down as well. And that they were kind of, it was suspicious that they profited so well from these moves. Final thoughts on that before I move on to some other topics. A lot of people in the crypto community look at them as, being very opportunistic here. Is that what happened?
Yeah, basically Sam wants to make as much money as he can. This is his goal. Okay, it's probably good for him. But I don't have that goal. And a lot of people in crypto don't have that goal either. So it's not about making tons of money for me and for a lot of people I know in crypto. So I would like to to bring value in some other way. For Sam, it's just about money. I wish him well, but it's just probably we should be in separate worlds. He should have his own crypto and we should have our own crypto. And they shouldn't overlap. That would be perfect. I would be happy if he would become the richest man in the world, richer than Elon Musk. I wouldn't be it would be good, but it's just some other type of crypto. So probably it would be good if it would be just completely separate from the true crypto. It might sound a little bit maybe I don't know, it might strange, but it would be really good, because the idea here is what Sam doesn't do any good, doesn't bring any value to the technology, so this is a problem. So he developed Solana. Solana is it's an interesting approach. It has its drawbacks, obvious drawbacks, but I'm not sure that he's going to be investing a lot in technology itself, so his goal is to make as much money as possible. Good for him, but it's not good for crypto.
Right. You're happy if he has his fun, as long as he doesn't wreck your playground, is what you kind of want.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And it's kind of strange, though, because ultimately it's his playground, too. I mean, if he's in crypto space, whether it's Solana or whether it's in FTX or whether it's in Alameda Research, I mean, ultimately, he ultimately benefits when there's an ecosystem that still functions as well, right?
Yeah, true. But here, what he uses very centralized services. Solana is quite centralized as well. So probably if we could create a totally decentralized, completely decentralized infrastructure, also for derivatives trading, it wouldn't be too easy for actors like Sam to work in this market. It would become harder for them. So and also, for example, what happened with Luna? What happened with Luna actually? So, for example, there was a lot of curve manipulation on curve.fi. People voted for Luna pools, and this is like some kind of abuse of governance. And there is this simple token governance. It's so-called simple token governance when your votes are determined by the amount of tokens you have. And it's very simple. It's too basic to really work. So basically, you can bribe people to vote for your pool. So it's kind of crazy. It's not working in the real world because it's called bribes. In DeFi, it's also called bribes. So in the real world, it's some kind of a crime, but in DeFi, it's fine still. But you understand that it can't last, because when you call something a bribe, and it is a bribe because you basically pay people to vote for your pool. There is too much room for manipulation here. So probably it won't last. I don't think we should ban it or introduce some kind of regulation. It should be done on governance level. So we could create a more complicated DAOs, more complicated governance, not simple token governance, but advanced token governance. When, for example, if you vote for a pool that has some issues, has to be terminated or liquidated in future, you lose the tokens you voted with. So basically you have to stake your tokens, you vote with them, but if something goes wrong, you just lose them. So it's some kind of governance with slashing. This is what we're doing now. We're launching a DAO now, a DAO platform, and there is going to be a new type of governance when you have some kind of skin in the game. So if you are making good decisions, you're being rewarded. If you're making bad decisions, you're being slashed, basically. So your tokens are being taken away from you. We have to create those new governance models, and they could work not only in crypto, they could be used maybe in the real world as well, because we have a lot of problems with governance in the real world, as you can see, because all those problems that we face now are because of poor governance, in my opinion, in a lot of parts of the world. Yeah, so basically, yeah.
No, it's a good point. I mean, hopefully we can use some of these mistakes to improve on governance, which the human race has been doing for 1,000 years, trying to find better ways of governance. We still get people saying the last election wasn't even right because of, poor vote counting as well. So that's a good point. There's more innovation to come. I know Kane Warwick over at Synthetics is really working on better governance and better DAOs and really trying to be very thoughtful about how to elect council members, et cetera. So yeah, I hope we see some stuff on the back of that. Sasha, I want to give you a chance to comment on the spike in Waves price that happened kind of around the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It went up, it came back down. There were people saying there was reasons for it or not. I know you were born in Ukraine, then you spent time in Russia. I know you're in Dubai now. Wonder if you could comment on what you think happened, because again, people were saying Waves was the Russian Ethereum, but you guys had your ICO back in 2016. You guys have been doing this for a very long time. You guys have been well funded for a long time, and you've been building technology. So can you comment on what happened versus what people think happened? I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone. Also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline. I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?
I think it wasn't us who was pushing the price. You know, I must tell you. So there was a lot of like manipulation. People probably tried to use that narrative about like Russian Ethereum and stuff, which has never been like a Russian coin. Although people thought that we were, it was always a global project. I lived in Russia for most of my life. I was born in Ukraine. I moved to Russia around when I was like 17, I guess, and lived there for most of my life. I left now because due to obvious reasons, actually, because what is happening in Russia now is like totally unacceptable, I would say. About this pump, I think that people just tried, maybe it was Sam actually, there was some like indications, some signs of Alameda being involved in this. Somebody tried and it like succeeded in pushing Wave's price up. Actually, it lasted for maybe a month, and after that there was a very hard fought fear, uncertainty, doubt campaign around Waves. There was a lot of people who tried to short Waves like hard. They're still trying to do so. And probably it wasn't Sam, but on the other hand, they borrowed Waves, so probably it could have been them as well. So I don't know actually. So there was a lot of manipulation, and but it wasn't us actually, because for us it was the result of some announcements that we had made. We basically had opened the US office around that time. We have announced the roadmap for 2022. So in my opinion, at the time, that price action was caused by the announcement that we made. But I'm not sure that was the case. Probably someone used the announcement, someone used the narrative around Russian Ethereum and the idea that Russians would be buying this coin because they have to somehow like circumvent sanctions to create some like price action for Waves. Yeah, so basically it lasted for a month. Then there was like the exact opposite. Somebody tried to bring Waves down hard. And okay, so but we have to react to this. So there were some problems in Waves ecosystem with the lending platform. We are still like resolving the situation, and it's not over yet. But what can you do? You know, so we are in this market. We always try to keep up. As you said, we had some funding, but the only funding that we had was like ICO in 2016. We never had any investments from any VC funds, and for us it was like very important just to keep up with broader crypto market. But now I think that we should be better focusing on our own thing, because when you try to keep up too hard, it might not be good for you, you know, because you're just playing the games that you shouldn't play. So I think that we will be focusing on our own thing, because we have a lot of ideas about governance, we have a lot of ideas about scalability, and for me it would be very important now to try and make Waves ecosystem more independent and more resilient to external impacts.
Sasha, how do you continue to lead a team when your token is spiking like 6x and then it's down 50% and all these things are happening, when you're just trying to continue to go into Waves 2.0? How do you do that?
I don't care too much about the price, you know, so because if you focus too much on the price, you can't focus on the technology. So it's like it's volatility and it's crazy, and you understand that probably the markets might be wrong, you know, not only crypto markets, but markets in general, because nothing has changed in Waves, you know. So, and it's strange that our token lost like 80% of its value, you know, because nothing has changed. We're moving forward. So probably there's like some kind of weird price discovery that shouldn't be happening. So it's just noise. It's a very loud noise, but it's still noise, you know. So, and I'm used to it, because in the beginning, when I started in 2016, although I had been involved in trading before that, I was like coding robots, trading robots. Yeah, crypto trading was like something very interesting for me, because I didn't think that it would be so impactful, you know. So it would take so much attention from you. The price action, like crypto winter and such. But yeah, it's very important in crypto, because maybe it's good, you know, because crypto allows anybody to trade tokens, and we didn't have that before. It was like Forex, as I mentioned, but it was like much smaller actually. And maybe it's good as well, because probably a lot of people have made a lot of money, changed their lives. But crypto is not only about trading like crypto tokens. It's about like changing the world, you know. So if we don't forget about that, if we like try to really change the world, I think market capitalization of crypto will only benefit from it.
Yeah, you've said this before, that crypto isn't about becoming billionaires, it's about improving the world with technology. And I think you also said, quote, "We've been fudded, hacked, called scammers, but it's just a stimulus. Bring it on." I think that's
yeah,
what
sure.
you said.
Yeah, it's like, because I've seen a lot of things in crypto, maybe like a lot of things. I won't mention all. I've seen a lot of things like which you probably wouldn't believe, you know. So but
like what? Like what?
A lot of stuff, you know, like around like there was a lot of some crazy stuff about crypto in like East Europe, in Eastern Europe, you know. So it's like it's like a lot of fun doing like crypto projects in Russia, you know. So but
why is it fun in Russia? Why?
It might be strange, you know, sometimes, you know, because it's very different from what we have in the US, for example, you know, because it's much like, I would say, like streamlined in the US, you know. In the Russian, because probably we have been the only crypto project that like stayed in Russia for maybe like 3 or 4 years in Moscow, in the center of Moscow. We have been like the only project, and it wasn't that easy, you know, because crypto is actually banned in Russia.
Okay.
Still, yeah. So.
All right. So you just have to. You have to be careful.
We stayed there. Yeah. So. Yeah, but it was okay. But it was like a lot of like strange situations.
People watching you or putting pressure on you, or?
Yeah, kind of like, yeah. So it's kind of strange. I wouldn't believe it just now.
Okay.
So and it's much better in the West now. Like you should be happy about it, because it might be very weird, if you're not like used to it. So for me now, it's just, when I saw those like FUD campaigns, that wasn't like, it wasn't nice, but it was still some kind of fun, because like it gives you some stimulus to move forward, So, and I feel that there's going to be more of them, but it's okay, because I think I know what I want. I want to make waste to zero, have some ideas about scalability. I'm really invested in the upcoming DAO platform. I think this is like the most important thing that I want to do, like in my life, at least at the moment, to create some kind of like new governance model, not only for crypto, but also for like generic governance. So yeah, and those like things that happen around waves just maybe give me like a push, they just push me harder, so it's okay.
Okay. Now, at the same time a lot of this was happening, I think as if you didn't need more things to deal with, your stablecoin, I think the Neutrino USD, was also just losing its peg briefly, and you kind of had to defend that at the same time. I don't know if that was after Terra Luna. And I think also, I don't know if you ended up taking on some USDN loans on the back of it, but what happened with your stable coin, and where does it reside now? And have you had to do some guarantees around that?
The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So it's an interesting story, basically, because Luna is kind of similar to USDM, and they started after USDM. So I don't know if Doc1 copied our setup. Probably not, actually. There was this like basis protocol. It was an unlaunched project around 2017, 2018. Probably that was the first idea to create stable coins backed by a volatile asset without liquidations as in DAI. So it was unlaunched. I think SEC probably had some role in it, as far as I remember. And Doc1 mentioned that he had been inspired by the same idea. And yeah, I followed that project as well. And actually, I was inspired by it also too. So, but it was before Luna. Maybe they copied our model. Maybe they did not. I don't know. But our setup turned out to be very different from the setup that Luna had, because there was a very obvious hole there. Because I didn't follow Luna before the crash. Then I took a look at it, and it was pretty weird that they had such a weak setup that could be so easily manipulated. You probably know the mechanics. You could issue as many Luna coins as it was needed to basically cover your UST liquidations, and it triggered too many new Luna coins to be issued. And it's a very weird setup that we didn't have. It was similar to Luna, but different, actually, because you couldn't death spiral, and still can't make USDN death spiral. There is some mechanism that limits the amounts of liquidations, redemptions, and you just can't make USDN death spiral. And people try to do so through market manipulation, through dumping USDN on curve, on exchanges. But then it just returned to pack. And now we have seen that there is a couple things that we can improve, because there was this recapitalization mechanism that didn't properly work. And we are now improving it. And I think eventually we will have a stable coin that just can't be depacked. It's an arms race, in a way. Somebody's trying to destroy you, and you are creating a better armor. This is just the case. So somebody tried to destroy USDN. We have seen that we have some weak spots, and now we are working on improving them. So eventually we will have a stable coin that you just can't depack.
I read some article that says you, as a Waves founder, has more than $530 million in debt in order to try to guarantee those USDN loans. Is that true? And how does that happen?
Yeah. Basically, there was this lending platform which is called Virus.finance, and when there was price action, when this price went up, people did what they do with DAI, for example, when they issue new DAI with Ethereum to buy more Ethereum.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.